Hello everyone, we are Team Bird's iView. This is our design review 3. I'm Chen Hao Li. Now I will introduce our team. Jonas is our team leader, and he's also our staff developer. I'm the backend developer to connect our backend and front end. Taylor is our database manager, and he is in charge of our database. And Jordan is our UI developer, and he's in charge of our website. Our mentor is Shiva, and now I will introduce our client. Our client is David Plemons. He is a bird enthusiast and entrepreneur. His product, Smart Bird Feeder, can help people feed bird, and it has an integrated camera which can take photos of the birds, and it can also connect the live stream box. Our target is to help David to build a website application to help people upload their photos of birds and identify the species of the birds. Then um, Jordan will introduce the problem we met.
In regards to our client's current workflow of PEEP, the diagram illustrates the user experience that PEEP offers. Users are able to activate their live stream, watch birds in real time, and then save videos and images. Although our client David has been working diligently over the past 3 years, there are still limitations of his product. One thing David is really passionate about is expanding the bird-loving community. With his current product, there's no way to easily share your findings. With no way to share your images, it can make it incredibly difficult to connect with other members of the community. This is important to bird enthusiasts because they want to be able to connect with people who have a similar interest as them. Additionally, David wants to aid in the education for bird lovers, but his product does not currently offer that, meaning there's no way for a user to know what bird they're viewing in their bird feeder unless they have previous knowledge of bird species. Not knowing the bird in the bird feeder results in bird lovers researching or trying to connect with the bird expert to help with the classification. This can be exhausting and time consuming, which is why we have developed a solution. As shown in the diagram, users will activate their PEEP livestream, watch birds in real time, save their bird images, and with our plan, be able to share their images with other bird lovers. Our plan is to provide a web application for users so they can upload their images to a community forum, identify the species of their bird, and contribute to our PEEP Learn toolkit. Giving users the ability to upload images to a community forum will allow for the expansion of the bird-loving community, which is one of David's goals. Users will also be allowed to access our PEEP Learn toolkit, which is an AI model that predicts the species of a bird given a bird image. Along with accessing the PEEP Learn toolkit, users will be able to contribute their images to help improve our model. Now that we understand the problem and the solution, I will further discuss the major requirements we have come up with. So after weekly meetings with our client David, we've come up with some baseline requirements for the web application. The first major requirement is being able to upload images to a gallery. The first picture on the right shows a user's image gallery. Along with being able to upload images to a gallery, users will have the ability to send images to preset folders to help organize their images. Some examples of the preset folders we might include are a favorites folder, a training images folder, and an identified birds folder. Users will also have the ability to change their account settings, such as their username, email and password, and profile pictures. Next, users will have access to the community forum. This allows users the ability to create posts, update their posts, delete posts, and then comment on other users' posts. Lastly, users will have access to our AI model, also referred to as the PEEP Learn toolkit. Users can upload an image to their gallery and then click a button that says identify, in which the model prediction will then be returned back to the user. This is shown on the second image on the right. Additionally, users will be able to contribute their personal images to help improve the PEEP Learn toolkit. Furthermore, we can discuss our plan for implementing these core requirements.
These requirements, this is our following implementation overview. We need to have a profile system so that users can create an account. We need to have a community forum so that users can share posts and images with each other. We need to have image management so that users can upload images, put them in folders, and interact with them. And then we also need to provide them with learning tools so they can learn more about the birds in their images. As we'll see in this video, we've implemented all of these features. So right now you can see a user who is not registered for an account yet. This is his first time coming to the PEEP site. So he's just navigating through all the posts, viewing the comments, seeing what people are saying. So you can see all the comments that users have made on this post. So no users have made a post or a comment on that post. As he clicked reply, you can see that you need to have an account to be able to reply. Given that he didn't have one, he's going to make an account right now. Now for demonstration purposes, this user, me, is just entering information that's already in the database, aka that username is already taken. So you can see that the form is being validated correctly. And then next you'll enter a username that's not taken, and then enter an email that is taken to make sure that the email field validates correctly. And then he's also going to enter an erroneous password that obviously does not match. And you can see that all the fields are being validated correctly. So finally, I went ahead and added an email that was not yet taken and then added a password that actually matched up. So now that I'm signed in or registered for account, I can actually sign in using the credentials that I just created. And now I'm redirected back to the home page and you can see that I'm logged in. Additionally, you can see on the right side all of the actions that were not previously there. And those are presented to users that already have accounts, but not people that don't have accounts. And so here you can see that I'm trying to update my profile picture, but it doesn't support that file format. So I have to go in and choose a different profile picture. You can see that one worked. Cool. So I go back to the home page. Now I do want to reply. But since I have an account and I'm logged in, I can actually reply now. And you can see the new comment showed up right under the post. So now I'm going to actually create a new post. And you can see all I have to do is hit create post, enter a title, type some content. And if you want, you can upload an image, but it's not required. And you can see that that new post is now at the top of the homepage. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to upload some images. You can see the images page is empty right now, but I'll go ahead and upload a few. And now you can see all the images in the My Images page that I've just uploaded. And as you can see, I just favorited that image all the way on the left, and it was added to our favorite folder. So if I go back, you can see that we can delete images just as easily. That image has been deleted. Awesome. So now we can log out. You see all the actions disappear. And you also see that there's an option for resetting the password, just a simple email verification password reset scheme. And while I didn't actually reset my password via email, but it does work. I just go ahead and re-enter the credentials that I set up initially, re-authenticate myself. And then as one last demo, you can see that there is some pages that are restricted to being logged in. So I kind of just knew that that URL would update, like if I was authenticated, that URL would allow me to update the post, but I had to be logged in, and so it didn't let me do that. And that just kind of protects user data. So that's all the features. So some of the main challenges that we have faced have really just been with DigitalOcean deployment. DigitalOcean is essentially a service that allows you to have to buy a little virtual machine that you can use as a server and deploy whatever application, whatever you want. And so that's what we're using to deploy our Flask application. And so some of the problems that we've specifically had has involved MySQL, Nginx, and gUnicorn. So MySQL obviously is just one of the most popular open source database management systems. It was our DBMS of choice. We're actually currently using SQLite just because that was what we used for our prototype. And as we tried to migrate to MySQL on the server, it actually crashed as soon as I tried to install it. And I had to stop all of my SQL processes, uninstall everything, just so that the resources would be released on the server and it would go back to normal. Not 100% sure. It could be a resource issue that we don't have enough resources on the server to support MySQL. But essentially, we're going to the resolution of that is to stick with SQLite for right now because it works. And then as our site scales, maybe once we get like 1,000 users or so, then we can actually migrate to a DigitalOcean managed database, which it'll be a MySQL database, but it's more of like an automated service that DigitalOcean provides to handle all of the complexities of database management. So we'll migrate to that in the future as needed, but our client is okay with SQLite for right now. The second major issues involve Nginx and gUnicorn, and what those are basically programs that help the server itself deploy our Flask application. And so it essentially makes our server listen for incoming requests, and then gUnicorn kind of helps us serve those requests with our Flask application. And so one of the issues is that gUnicorn uses synchronous workers, meaning that each worker can only handle one request at a time. So there's the workers themselves don't have concurrency. And since we only have three workers, which is the recommended amount of workers for our server configuration, we're only able to handle 3 users right now. And so if we get more than that, or if there's more than 3 sessions in the database, the site or the server will essentially crash again and a bunch of weird bugs will happen. And so one of the resolutions, or our proposed resolution of that, is to switch to an asynchronous gUnicorn worker. And that will involve further research into how gUnicorn implements asynchronous workers, and we're also going to have to make sure that our code is safe for use with gUnicorn asynchronous workers. But given all those things check out, once we use asynchronous workers, we should be able to support thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands user requests per second. So it's highly scalable. And I'll go to Tyler with the schedule.
Here's a schedule that provides a timeline in regards to the overall development of our application. As you can see, in early February, we were heavily focused on building the base of the web application, including the database, profiles, MVC separation, and design templates. Starting in March, we shifted our focus to deploying the web application via DigitalOcean, tuning the AI model, and user testing. Currently, we are working on finalizing the deployment of the application and adding any additional features or fixes the client has requested. Next, we will review our plan for testing our web application. For this, we have 3 separate testing protocols: unit testing, integration testing, and usability testing. Unit testing is the breakdown of the individual functions of our program. Each part is to be tested individually to ensure that it is in full working order. For our web application, we have chosen to first separate the front end from the back end and then choose our testing units accordingly. For the front end, we have chosen to test the functionality of logging in, making a post, uploading pictures, and commenting. These are all primary functions of our user interface. And for the back end, we have chosen our AI model, uploading images, and deleting images. Integration testing is to ensure that the individual units are able to exchange results between one another. For this, we have chosen to conduct the following tests. Do our database queries return what is expected to the controller? And is our data properly injected into our view templates by the model? These 2 interactions comprise the primary actions that our model will perform, and thus will provide a good benchmark on what systems are and are not working well together. Lastly, usability testing. Usability testing is a user's interaction and overall experience with the application. For this, we have comprised a list of tasks and questions for the user to perform that will help us understand how the user feels about the web application and what kind of experience it provides. Some of these tasks include registering an account, logging in, uploading an image, making a post. Some of the questions we will ask the user are, was it easy to make an account? Is there anything you would change to make the overall experience more enjoyable? And was it difficult to navigate through the different pages of the web application? Overall, we hope our presentation provided an in-depth look at our project, where we started, the solutions we found, and how we implemented and tested said solutions. Thank you for watching.